Welcome back. Still tuned into First Trades. 11,139 on the index. That's down 0.5%. Far worse for the broader universe, and sectors like banks as well as the PSU banks seem to be bearing the brunt, while IT is having a fairly good run. ICICI Bank, Aurobindo, Indigo, L&T Finance and Oracle Soft are some of the other stocks under pressure in trade this morning. Well, let's get in a word from the management of Renault to understand whether or not we are seeing demand turning post-unlock and what kind of trends we're spotting in that sphere. We've got Venkatram Mamillapalle, who is the MD and country CEO at Renault India, now joining in. Thank you so much for taking time out. To begin with, just walk us through what the initial trends have been like for the company. How has the unlock been, given that the past few weeks have seen a lot more restrictions being eased?
Thank you for having me here. Good morning to all. What is important is that this pandemic has disturbed the whole industry, not just automotive, but every other industry. Definitely automotive has taken a bigger beating. And if you see since April onwards, where the total industry volume was zero, and from there we are trying to recover as much as possible. It's not just recovery, but holding the business of dealers, suppliers, and the employees is a bigger requirements for us, and keeping hygiene in place. Since last June onwards and July, we see a traction coming up in the walk-ins as well as at the dealership. So hopefully we will start regaining the market. May not be to the extent what we have seen last year at the same time, but definitely we have seen. However, you see there is a fall of almost about 48% of market since the pandemic and compared to the last year. So the recovery is happening, but it is going slow. But the expectation is that we should see a gradual increase in the market and walk-ins by beginning of next month and improve better during the Diwali time. That's the expectation, if there are no other lockdowns in other cities.
More promise in the month. So a lot more promise in the month of August, as well as perhaps a pickup during festive season. Now, there have been robust retails in the month of June. Was that largely attributed to pent-up demand, impending orders, etc.? And do you foresee this sustained uptick in demand from here on?
One is yes, it is a demand hike because of various other requirements of the people, like keeping the social distance and so on and so forth. People want to travel safe, and therefore there are sales going up. Number one. Number two, there was a large gap of slowdown. So the market which was in the waiting is coming back. But it's not this question of sustenance. We want to see the growth, and I'm sure that we will see a growth moving forward, not just to sustain the bookings what we saw the last month. And as the festive season comes by October end, we should see a drastic improvement in the marketplace. May not be equal to the one which we have seen in the previous years, but definitely better than what we have since April onwards.
Okay. So how is it that you're looking to tap into the potential in semi-urban as well as rural markets? And how is it that you're establishing the connect with rural customers? Because just about every channel check and data point seems to be suggesting that it's the rural end of the market which have recovered the fastest. And that's where demand is going to continue to be strong for some more months to come.
Absolutely. And as Renault, we are also seeing a spike in the rural market. Last year we had average of about 19%, and which we are seeing to be at 5% market sector. And as we have many lockdowns in the cities, so the focus is towards the rural. And we also have a project Vista, and our aim is to make sure that we service the rural market. And we have something like Workshop on Wheels, and we have outlets which are catering to the rural market, and our expansion in the rural market is still large, and we are almost covering 300 plus today, the rural towns, and we'll continue to grow this. And no doubts that rural is our future, and it's not only for automotive sector, but other white good industries or industries, rural is the market of the future. And I strongly believe, and we had been emphasizing the rural market gain since last 2 years, and we have put a lot of efforts, and we are expanding to the rural market, and we are seeing the gains during this pandemic especially. But I'm sure that it will be more sustained even if urban comes back to normal, and rural will continue as we see the current are.
Sure. As of last year, Renault planned to double their export revenues from India. What's been the update on this so far this year, or has COVID disruption led to a complete standstill here?
Yes, we had such ambitions, but unfortunately, because of COVID situation, other countries, they went into down. So our export volumes have not did so much. But however, it is not bad. We were able to sustain to the same numbers what we had the last year, but there is no increase. Definitely, we are waiting for other countries to open up and the market to regain its position in those countries where we are exporting. I'm sure that like India, the other countries are also working towards eradicating this pandemic, and I'm sure and hopeful that we'll get back soon, at least if not this year, but the beginning of next year.
Sure. Good to have you then on the show, Mr. Venkatraman, and we'll chat again soon once things begin to stabilize and normalize and you have a better grip on where things stand and where they're headed. That's the word from Renault India. ICICI Bank at the lows of the day, and for the market, we're down 0.6 now, just on the brink of breaching 11,100 in the Nifty futures. The breadth, of course, continues to be weak. ICICI Bank futures now are down in excess of 5%, by the way, just holding around that 360 level as we speak. Idea, Interglobe, M&M Finance, REC are some of your other losers. We'll take a very quick break on that note.